Good morning, Maya Payabak. Here's the plan. They're still preparing to put in windows, but while they're waiting, there might be a little more work going on some highlight tiling outside the house. Flooring, they're making a correction. Bathroom, they're making a correction. There's still a lot more painting going on. There's a lot more lighting, and we may get to see a little bit more of that later on today. And on the subject of lighting, maybe I've cleared up my own confusion about the LED light, the tube light that's been used upstairs. We'll come back to that. What could possibly go wrong? Back inside the spa, tiling continues on the hot tub. We've got Jay and Sue back from the original pool team working on that this morning. So I would think a lot of these wall tiles will get done probably today. And then you'll see what else we're doing in here. Mr. Rene is in the small bathroom off the side of the patio. Still making little adjustments where we've reduced the size of the wash basin cabinet, the Walliker. Getting ready to reattach tiles in here, I think. Not the most flattering angle of Rico, but he's in here, just doing a little bit more plastering on the inside of the cabinet in the laundry room. I assume that there will be tiles on the ends on the inside and possibly on the back. We'll have to wait and see. I think later on today, if Frederick can finish those tiles on the patio, we might start to see some tiling going on walls and columns just here at the front. Watch this space. On top of the septic tank number 2, Rico, and I think he's not on his own, he is right now, but others are helping, is working on a cover for the septic tank here. In the master bedroom, Baba Jess is working on strip lights, LED strip lights, for this highlight wall where the head of the bed will be. Mr. Willie, painter Mr. Willie, is in the walk-in closet for the master bedroom, and he's adding more paint on the wall just here. On top of what became known as the gas station canopy at the front of the house, Oliver and Erwin are putting up scaffolding here in preparation for doing tiling on the second floor on part of the walls. It's just after lunch, but I've got to catch up a couple of bits that got corrupted this morning. I'm not sure why, only a couple of clips. Here, they had taken up these tiles where you can still see the separating pieces, and it was because they weren't happy with the level. They had to try to make it so that there is a very slight slope from inside the house to outside, because there is a door here where you can see this metal frame, well, where the change of tiles is. But this is kind of exposed because there's no door here. And although we are undercover, there will inevitably, during heavy rain and strong winds, a little bit of water will get inside. So they have to make sure that this does slope very slightly. And from where it changes tiles to the outside edge, it's just about half a centimetre drop, that's all. But they had to level that and make it match up with the tiles going into the gym and spa. And it wasn't quite right. So apparently, just changing this relatively small area is a fix. It's now all okay. Here at the hot tub, Jay and Sue, I've got a lot more of the tiles in place. So these pattern tiles, I've said before, it's not going to be the only tile here. They will only be on these vertical surfaces. They're not going to be on anything horizontal. So the top, the bench seat, and in fact, I think the outside edge, I'm not sure, will be something different. Stay tuned. Inside the small bathroom next to the hot tub, almost next to it, Mr. Rennell, our plumber, aided by Carlito, are still working on the revised plumbing for the relocated toilet and other bits and pieces in here. It did turn out to be quite a big fix required. On the outside edge of the gym, Erwin's now moved here, and again, skim coat rotors in hand. He's preparing all of these external areas for windows. In the laundry room, Mr. Rene, who's currently off grinding tiles, looks like he's almost finished with this cabinet, although the back walls are not covered. We'll have to wait and see whether they do actually tile all of those surfaces or not. This area of tiling in the dining room, not quite finished, and I don't know whether that's because they've not quite got enough tiles or it's just lower on the priority list, because there's only a few tiles right up at the top there, needs to be done. I was wrong. I know it's unheard of. Mr. Rene was not grinding tiles for the laundry room. He was grinding tiles for this small powder room off the side of the patio. Still a few more to be done in here before it's finished. At septic tank number 2, we have our manhole cover poured. So, setting now before they make sure it can actually be removed. I'm sure it can be. Frederick, having finished relaying those tiles in the patio area, is getting to work on tiles here at the front. And I believe the very first area they're going to put them, oh, I thought it was going to be on the column in the far corner. It may be on the outside of the door. Well, we'll find out before the end of the day. Let's see what happens. Meanwhile, almost alongside him, Oliver's doing a bit of grinding, just cleaning up the edges on the, well, effectively the base of the master bedroom balcony. I think getting some of this area prepared as well for tiles. On the north side of the house, we've got Singing Rico, and down here, covered up Richard, putting together more scaffolding over here. And Richard is trying to throw these connectors.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net, says Rico. That was a much better throw than the first one I just saw. Richard's getting better. Painter Mr. Willie still working on paint in the walk-in closet for the master bedroom. So at the moment it is a very, very light, well, I was going to say light brown, but it's more of a, I suppose, a slightly dark cream. Here above the stairs, Ernie is again working on channels where small LED tube lights, I think in this case, will be going. So I guess he'll be doing the same thing he did on the long channel down the hallway and taking it back to a light brown with a bit of pattern in it, which he'll hand paint on again. So these are the boxes for the LED tube lights that we've got all over the place in ceilings. I think I've unconfused myself now. So T5, if I understand correctly now, T is simply tube, 5 is 5/8 of an inch diameter, and in this particular case they are highlighted as being 16 watt and 3000 K or Kelvin. Now that's not the brightest of lights. It's not the most powerful of lights, but where we're using them simply as additional highlights, I think that is completely adequate. And we have got a lot of these, so even as main lights, I'm sure that will be sufficient power and light output, luminance. We won't need more than that. In the bedroom, we now have the proposed final finish on the right of these two pieces of wood. So that, again, grain-like appearance is back. On the left side, that will be the same. It's just not there yet. Personally, I think that's a lot better than the dark brown that was in there before, which was, you know, in fairness, was trying to reflect the dark brown up here. But I think this looks way better. Meanwhile, over by the wall there, Dong, brother-in-law, is back on the strimmer. And as always, he's just got energy that goes on and on and on. Since Sunday, he's done everything backwards of this point. I helped out a little bit with some raking and taking grass over to the compost, as did nephew Ivan. But Dong has cut all of this. I lasted maybe an hour and a half this morning in between the showers and the heat. He's been going most of the day and shows no sign of easing up. Unbelievable. It's 4:30. The bell's gone. Guys are heading out, which means it is that time of day again. Contribution today from JB. 2 pieces of string standing outside a bar, looking a bit nervously at a sign that says "No string allowed." One of them ties a knot in himself, frizzes up the end of it, plucks up his courage and walks in. Barman says, "Oi, aren't you a piece of string?" "Afraid not." And with that, let's go and see what they've been up to for the last couple of hours. We'll start here at the spa, looking at the hot tub. All of the inside tiles, except right down at the bottom, and that area may not get tiled, but all the rest of the side tiles are done. And they have poured the bench seat, ready to receive its covering, possibly tomorrow. No other tiles on here yet, but it won't be long. In the small bathroom off the side of the patio, Mr. Rene's got most of the tiling back in. I'm not sure whether right down at the bottom, well, at the top of the wash basin cabinet, I'm not sure if that gets filled in with tiles or not. So in fact, he may be done. It looks to me like Mr. Willie did get a full coat of paint on all the walls inside this walk-in closet for the master bedroom. Now, yesterday I asked you, what should the doors be here going into the bathroom? Jury is still out, but thank you for your contributions. A number of people suggested frosted glass. 1 or 2 went with wood, 1 or 2 went with other options. I'm not able to summarise everybody yet because I've had no internet for the last few hours, so I can't see what everyone said, but that is something we will come back to very soon.
This is about the best view I think I can get of where Ernie was doing painting in those light recesses earlier on. Well, I could go up on the platform, but I'm not doing that. And most of them, it looks like he may have finished. He's got it back to the wood colour, and the grain appearance is there as well.
It's the little things sometimes. This is a doormat that they've made using a piece of wood and upturned bottle tops, so that when they go in the house they can rub a little bit of mud off their boots. And they got one of these at the back as well. That is very thoughtful. A lot more scaffolding along the north side of the house. Singing Rico and Richard
been busy on that for the rest of the afternoon, I think. I've left what might be the best until last. This is the big new thing, although at the moment it's still very, very small. They have started putting these tiles on the outside of the house. So as you can see, there is a little pattern with dark grey and light grey tiles. There's a little drawing on the wall at the side that shows them the pattern they've got to follow. We will have to wait and see how that all works out. Again, it's something that I think we've not actually seen a rendering of this particular part of the design. We knew it was dark grey. That was all we saw. So the builder has come up with this little tweak. As always, I'll have to wait to be told whether I like it. I think at the moment, with that very little tiny bit to go on, I do like it. So that is it for the day. Again, yeah, we've had no internet for a large part of today, not sure what's going on. So if you've put comments in over the last couple of days, I fell behind, as I often do, and certainly anything that's come in today I've definitely not replied to, and I haven't replied to most of the comments that I think were in there the last couple of days. So I will get to you, apologies. Once I get an internet connection again, I'll get through as many as I can, as quickly as I can. But there we go. Tiles on the outside of the house. I'm really looking forward to how that looks once they get a slightly bigger area covered and we start to get a real sense of how that all fits into the overall look of the place. But first impressions, to me, look really nice. Remember that the majority of the house will be white or cream, so it is just a little highlight, and I think it'll contrast pretty well with the predominantly brown roofing and the white walls. We shall see. Hopefully we'll get a better look at that tomorrow. See you then.